But we got gridlock right now, lots of it. And is it actually holding back business? That's one of the big questions. So joining me right now with their thoughts on all of it, Nicole Pedalides, Digital Risk Managing Partner Jeff Taylor, and James Advantage Fund CIO Barry James. You know, I just want to explain to all of you, it was interesting, if you listen to this call, Jamie Dimon did not stop there. He went on to say, as one reporter asked him, well, are you frustrated with the Trump administration? In other words, are you blaming the Trump administration for all this gridlock? And he replied, no, that was frustration with you. So he's a little frustrated with the media because he makes the point that the media is not focused on the right things. He says the United States of America has to start focusing on policy which is good for all Americans, and that is infrastructure, regulation, taxation, and education. It kind of seems like a no-brainer, and yet, Barry, these are the issues Americans care about, yet the media is not focused on them. Does that mean it's more challenging to get these things through? Jeff, do you agree with that? Do you think that there's real concern out there that if these things don't happen, the market's going to start to drift lower?
Well, I think what Jamie said is like the dysfunction in D.C. is really hitting all-time highs right now. And look at one thing that was not mentioned. Jamie did talk about Americans buying a home. What people aren't really focusing on is we still, 8 years later, post-financial crisis, we don't have GSE reform. We still have both Fannie, Freddie, and conservatorship. We need to get a plan in place for them. As sitting on part of the MBA board, we've given our opinions on guiding principles to get a proper structure, to get them out of conservatorship and functioning well so we can have housing for the American people going for decades to come on a plan, a sustainable plan, not in this 8-year holding pattern that we've had right now.
I mean,
so the
dysfunction
in DC
hey,
is all over
privatize
the
them.
place.
Get the government out of the business of lending money, both for homeowners and also in terms of college tuition, because that's certainly increased prices among tuition, increased prices among home ownership. I'd like to see less government involvement on that front, but we'll save that conversation for another day.
We agree.
Yeah, good. Nicole, you're down there on the floor. I mean, I can imagine that these comments just ricocheted off of those computer screens as people heard them coming in, because Jamie Dimon having the guts, frankly, to call out Washington and say what everybody's thinking.
Absolutely, and he really had a platform because everybody's listening to the JP Morgan conference call. Everybody's listening to Jamie Dimon on a record quarter, $26 billion for the company. So they're doing great over at JP Morgan, and he used this platform to say things that half the inner city school kids don't even graduate, the opioid epidemic, and there hasn't been a U.S. major airport built in 20 years. He's basically calling out Washington and using one profanity as well and saying, step it up, let's get it going. And his point, while it's not great to say it's embarrassing to be an American, but his point is that after he traveled to Ireland, Israel, France, he said other governments understand a better corporate tax scheme than we do here at home. Why are we making it so difficult?
And why are we allowing other countries to be more competitive than us? We should be the most competitive place to be doing business right now. Why give any of that to Ireland or even the UK for that matter? I'm going to rest my case. Nicole, Jeff, Barry, good to see you all. At least the market's up.